Should a legislature mostly made up of men be allowed to restrict access to abortion?
A Democratic state lawmaker does not think so. And now legislation filed for the upcoming session would let the voters decide that answer. 7 states passed laws banning nearly all abortions in just 2019 alone. Kimberly Scott with Planned Parenthood says it is oftentimes men who make the decision to restrict abortion access.
We see overwhelmingly men file legislation that would impact women's health.
But newly filed legislation proposes a controversial safeguard to prevent new abortion restrictions here in Florida. It would put a constitutional amendment before voters that would prohibit either chamber of the legislature from passing any new restrictions on abortion access unless women make up at least half of the members.
Making sure that there's true representation for those that are voting on this legislation that will be the most impacted is so critical.
Right now, women make up only 30% of the Florida legislature. To get to 50%, 8 female senators would have to be elected and 24 female representatives. Ingrid Delgado with the Florida Conference of Catholic Bishops says while abortion disproportionately affects women, it doesn't only affect women.
Abortion affects society, including the fathers, the grandparents, and the siblings of aborted children.
And she says the proposed amendment would impose a standard on abortion legislation that does not exist for any other issue.
Gun owners or veterans or the elderly or children or racial minorities.
The legislation faces an uphill battle in the Republican-held legislature, which in recent years has seen momentum grow in favor of harsher abortion restrictions, not fewer. Pro-choice advocates say while the legislature may be in favor of tougher abortion restrictions, Florida voters have rejected them. In 2012, a proposed constitutional amendment that would have prohibited tax dollars from being spent on abortions failed when put before Florida voters.